I just think they're great kids and athletes. They're very smart, very intelligent. University, both of them, and knock on wood, their lives are happy and they're content in their lives. That's my biggest thing. I want them to see the world. I don't want them to say book smart. I don't want them to say street smart. I want to see them to be the world smart. Culture.
Yeah. One thing I really think our viewers could take what I gathered was community, because when you said grandparents on both sides and aunts and uncles, I don't think that people realize how important it is for young kids to have that connection.
Even with myself, if it wasn't for my grandparents and my nana nani coming, I don't think I would ever speak Punjabi.
Right.
Right. To converse with them, I had to learn Punjabi. Even though we sounded like idiots. I mean, roti, pani, but because of those words and the silly interactions, it came. I was blessed that both sides of my grandparents are amazing, like very amazing. I'm the oldest grandson on both sides too, and yes, was I spoiled? Yeah, but at the same token, I was grounded by them. If you get what I'm saying, and by my uncles and aunts kicking the shit out of me, but that was all. But. I was very lucky, very blessed, growing up and learning Punjabi and falling in love with the language, the culture, and, it just made me who Luv Randhawa is today. The people, the fans, everybody. It just, it really, made me grow up quick, but at the same token, it made me enjoy every moment. And I think that's the most important thing, is if you enjoy every moment. I mean, I've performed in front of 130,000 people and I performed in front of 20. And I've taken every single show with the biggest happiness, because I'm actually on the stage doing what I love. Yeah. We've got such great talent in Surrey and North America. We're lucky. We're very lucky. It's just that we need to support them. Yeah, right. Yeah. Everybody's got to go out and support them. Local artists as well, not just the international ones that come. That's really what Ange and I were talking about this year. I'm like, I really want us to start getting local people on this podcast and start focusing on between, Bellingham and Surrey, and like really getting this community out to start supporting each other. You said we don't have to wait for the Beyoncés to come here. We can support our own. Well, I was laughing at it a few months back when Diljit came. Huge, crazy. Yeah. And I'm like to myself, okay, Diljit is an amazing artist. But he was built over 20 years of his practice to get to that. Right. And amazing producers in Surrey like DJ Intense and the guys that helped make his songs to give him that platform. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Right. They make those songs up for them to give them umbrella and do all these type of things. But it was a team collaboration.
100%.
What do you think about Dhillon?
I love it.
He's such a good kid.
He's a genuine guy. Anytime I interact with him on social media, congratulating him or whatever the case may be, he still responds.
Wow.
And it's actually him, not his people, right?
Right. But it makes me feel good that Diljit actually did say something. But again, it's cool. Like, we're fans too. Yeah. Even though we're artists with these guys, and I don't say they're better than me or they're worse than me or whatever, I never compete, because the only person I compete with is myself. But to get that type of conversation or connection, that's pretty damn cool. That's awesome. Even like the Bollywood guys, you see them on TV and you're like, oh my god, that's actually that's cool. That's actually
right.
That's Joey.
You're like, I know them.
It's like I saw them last week.
But it's cool because they're at that platform, right? And again, they're just regular people like us.
Right. That's the key. I think people need to remember is they're just like, I don't know much about AP Dhillon's music. I know Alvin always listens to it and he always kind of tells me about it. But I watched his interview with Beer Biceps. Yes. And that's when I kind of fell in love with this kid. And I was like, oh my God, he's got like a really good spirit about him, and he's really wanting to and he's really taking that whole, like us musicians should own our own music. We should have the rights to our own thing. And he talked a lot about that collaboration aspect that people don't talk about, the people behind the scenes enough. And I thought that's what we need to do more. We need to talk about the fact that it is a collaboration that just because you see that Jennifer Lopez on stage, you don't know the people that took
That made
put her up there. Let's not forget those people.
I think with all these artists, God bless them all because they're so talented.
Right.
We've got so much talent. Our culture in general is amazing. You got to look at two things. One is the collaboration of the team, the spearhead of the person that's going to dictate what's going to happen. The people are going to make your career.
Mm-hmm.
Could be the labels, could be a manager like Sonalia from Vujit, AP and all these guys have their teams and Karan has their teams, but it's also the labels. Okay. Michael Jackson didn't become Michael Jackson.
Right.
It was his dad that made the Jackson 5. Then from Jackson 5, Michael Jackson left them.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson became his own entity, his own person, built his own team, had the right people around him. And then guess what? Michael Jackson became Michael Jackson.
Right.
Okay?
True.
So these guys are all doing that. And they've got their teams, and their teams are loyal. That's another thing.
That's so important, isn't it? Loyalty.
You will never, ever get ahead when you have a jealous team of you.
Oh, 100%. That's great.
I love that you said that because I don't think people talk enough about that. I just heard Oprah say that for the very first time. If you have a friend that's jealous, that's not a friend.
No,
and you cannot have that in your inner circle. No. Yeah.
There's no I in team.
Yeah.
There's no I in team. And there's no, you have to think about that. Like if the four of us here sitting here said, okay, love, we're going to start on next week. It doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It's been 20 years for me as well.
Yeah.
But if you come up and you say, hey, love, I got this idea for the next show, or I know a promoter that will get you 10 shows across Canada. This is what we'll do. Mm-hmm. Okay, now it's interesting. Now she's thinking of me as the artist, but obviously she's going to make money on it because so she's thinking both ways.
Right.
Collaborating.
Right? And it's a collaboration. That was the word I wanted to use.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking earlier about YouTube and all that stuff. I have no idea. I still don't know anything about that type of stuff. Okay? Algorithms, Punjabi rhythms, Bengali rhythms. That's the only rhythms I know. English rhythms, that's it. I have no idea about these algorithm garbage. Okay? Nor do I really want to know.
Yeah.
Okay? I finally got a team after 20 years that is actually working with me a little bit.
Wow, good for you.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it's on look, it's on this, it's on this. And I said, okay, tusi jo kuch karna kar lo. I'm standing here.
Yeah.
I'll sing the songs, but just make me look good. That's it.
Marketing.
That's
Right.
Marketing, right? But again, there was none of that stuff when we were starting.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is it, and it's more focused on that than the art of music.
Yeah, that part I am a little seeing. Yeah, we're losing a little bit of that.
Maybe the trailer is better than the actual movie
Yeah.
type of thing.
And if you look at all these artists, they're bringing out big names to be in their videos, or they're doing big names to. It's for their own pump. They need it.
Yeah.
They need to.
They need their audience to come over.
Right.
They need that collaboration. So you know what I'm going to be doing now, guys. I'm going to be bugging you guys for your guys' fast.
Tag us.
Absolutely. We're all about the collaboration.
Yeah.
Time out. Congratulations, guys, on your YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're still trying to understand this is real. Like that was the thing. Because like we're saying, like we had social media before this happened. Like I never had any social media accounts. It just didn't interest me. Like you're saying, like I didn't care to put my life out there, and I didn't care what you're doing. I just cared like, hey, let me just say focus on me.
Yeah.
But as we got older, we're like, hey, I think we're gonna have to try to harness this somehow because we want to talk about what we want to talk about, but it can't be just like us talking about it. So we started harnessing social media, and we're like, okay, I think we need to. But it's just like any tool. You can do good with it, or you can do bad with it. And we're choosing to say, we filter. Like I don't want our channel to be about like highlighting nonsense or talking down to people, or like when we even talk about celebrities, like we can give like a high level version of what's on, but we don't really know anybody. And I don't like talking about other people's lives. We can highlight their stories, things like that, but we got to keep it real. Let's talk about real life problems that we're all dealing with on a regular basis.
I think that's such a beautiful thing that you just said there is you don't want to harness that garbage out.
Exactly. Let everybody else, whoever wants to do that, like you want to be the TMZ channel, that's I don't that's not who I am. Like even if I tried to do that just for the money, I'd inside would be like, this doesn't feel right. Like I don't like doing that to people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You don't want to bring on a guest, right? And then just for the ratings or the reviews or say something negative, because who's going to want to work with you after the fact, right? And we're not in it for that business. And the same thing, we all had to learn social media. And even now, I get so many people like, hey, you know what? You should create your own social media account and then you can branch out. I'm like, but I don't want to. Like, I love my siblings and whatever I do. And end of the day, it's all programming, right? It's society telling me that I need to go and create my own account. I'm not going to do that. And if I don't get those deals, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You got a
I'm
great
not
team
looking for
here.
that.
You got your collaboration right here.
Right.
And it's a blessing that it's a sibling collaboration versus someone on the outside.
Right.
The outside person, okay.
We'll try to
Oh,
break it up.
yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to keep it real. This is
Yeah.
real. That's why it's gone to the over 100,000 subscribers, and you got the YouTube thing. That's what it's about.
And-
Because you don't even care about it.
Yeah.
You
don't.
But what I'm trying to say is, you're making a difference, and that's
Thank
why
you.
my music is why I do my music, because I want to make a difference.
Right.
I want to make a difference because none of my songs ever have anything negative about a woman. Never anything negative about the culture or the community, to be honest. But the biggest thing is my mother or my daughter can't hear it or listen to it. I won't make it
Amazing.
because that's been my motto since day one. And I follow Gurdas Mann Saab's style in that sense because of the fact that that's what he's done. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He's touched on the political issues, which we do. But we're not touching about, alcoholism, guns and gangs and all that garbage is out there. Yes, it's out there. Well, let it be there. It's not going to be,
Yeah.
you know? And so, like when I'm working with Hunters, for instance, he's the legend in the UK, and B2 is a legend in the UK for Bangla music. But there's also my English side. And the reason why I'm bringing these two genres differently is because when we look at the Indian society versus the mainstream society, it really isn't anything different. It's the same. Gore have the same issues as Apare. And we all are one.
Yep. Yep.
There's going to be people that listen to your guys' podcast that are non-Indians.
Yeah.
And they're going to appreciate it because you've touched on something that's going to touch their lives.
Right.
And for me, that's what it is. Music touches lives.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really
When you're
does.
singing songs about Hania and Takdeer, and you're singing songs about, Bhangra and pure Punjaban. What's a pure Punjaban out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's songs that are coming out now soon, That's My Girl, for instance. It's not, that's my girl and she's mine. No, it's not about that. It's how proud I am of my girl.
Right.
She can do anything she wants and she does it well. I'm going to be her supporter instead of her being my supporter.
Wow.
And that's the reason why that song came out, is because of the fact that twist in it. We wanted to make a twist that it's not always about, got a hot, beautiful woman there and that's mine. No, she's
Like
an
my
individual.
property or something. Yeah.
She's an individual. Like, she's a great lady. She's my supportive network. She may be my lover. She may be my wife. She may be my girlfriend. Whatever it is, you're proud of having her next to you.
Right.
And you hope that you want to make her proud enough that she says the same thing about you. That's good teamwork.
Yeah. Well said.
Well said.
Well said.
Very well
Yeah.
said.
I like
I
that.
wanted to ask you a question to kind of go back. Okay, so what kind of a dad would you say you are? And if I was to ask your kids, what would they say? What kind of dad you are?
It's a great question. You know what? I would say the kids know I'm there for them at any point, any time. If you ask me what kind of dad I am, I'm a dad that always needs work. And what I mean by that is I will never be good enough for them because I put them on a pedestal. Okay? I always try to work harder and harder and harder for them because when I'm gone, those are the memories that they'll have.
Right.
Daddy was there for us when we needed him. They don't need me all the time because they do have a mother, they do have their friends, they do have uncles and aunts they can go to. And I'm blessed that all of them are great with the kids and the kids love them all respectfully. But there's only one dad and one mom.
Right.
That's how I always say it. So I was never the dad that was strict. I let them fly. And if there was any time that they needed me or questioned something or asked anything, they could come back to me. And they know that there's no fear. They can ask and say anything. Because I'd rather have my kids know that the boundaries are there, but I also want them to know that dad is still there. And, I want them to be my best friend. Like my son, he'll phone me once in a while and he'll just shoot the shit.
That's
Like,
great.
Dad, guess what I did today? Oh. Or he'll send me a gym picture and he's worked out. Dad, look at these gains or stuff like that. But it's their truth. It's their life.
And they're involving you and sharing with you.
Yeah, and to me, I'm honored that they're doing that.
You're right.
Yeah.
They don't need me. They're smart. They don't need me. But hey, Joel, yeah, just. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm there if they ever do, and they know I will never say no if it's something cool and good.
And I think that's so beautiful. I really love that you said that, because I think that when kids know that they have something to fall back on, it allows them to be a little bit more risk takers. It allows them to kind of go more, because you have this essentially like a trampoline, like a parents to say you're going to be okay. I don't think that parents understand that important conversation with kids to say, go do what you got to do. I will always be here to support you. In whatever endeavor, as long as you're not hurting, you're doing it. I think that's such a great
message.
Yeah.
I think especially for women, and I'm sorry to say that, but especially for women, if they know that their family is with them and they feel comfortable in talking about everything with them, it would make them sprout
100%.
harder and faster.
Yep.
My daughter is like that. She is one strong woman. Like, she is my baby, my first, my everything, my, I love my son, but they always say the daughter's love is different.
Yeah.
It's so true.
A dad, father, totally.
And my daughter's they're the world to me. She's the world to me. Like, and she's so strong. And I love that about her. And she can fight with me like nobody's business.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she's her
choking
individual.
you up, my friend.
Yeah, I love hearing dads talk about daughter. That's our favorite. Ange and I get so excited about this.
My friend and his daughter have an amazing, both his son and daughter, they're so amazing. They're good kids. They're not like, this next generation that's kind of lost. They're very level-headed kids, but him and his daughter have the most beautiful relationship. Yeah. And I encourage it and I love it. And sometimes when he's like, we're going to go out for dinner, do you want to come? I'm like, sometimes it's okay if a father and daughter go.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I don't always have to come. And so, I saw that. Like,
hearing that from you, it's great.
She's the apple of my eye. My son is my proudness in the sense of he's a man. In that sense, he's a strong individual, strong-minded. He knows what he wants, which I love. Just something about the firstborn, I guess you can say. It's just something special there. And I still remember I was the first one to see her. I was the first one to see the smile. I was the first one to talk to her. That type of thing. But
did you say dad first or mom first?
To be honest, I can't remember.
I think they always say mom first because
they're spending their time.
Say mom.
Yeah.
Say dad.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for breastfeeding, it might be a fair game, but it's not a fair game, exactly.
No.
She's special.
She's special. She's very special because they're good kids. Both of them are great.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for your service.
No.
Yeah. Because we don't have children, so we're like, whenever we hear parents and have this thing, we're like, thank you for your service, because that's the next generation that'll take over.
Technically, these are my two children because I can raise them.
And then,
my two children are at home right now. They're about 70 years old.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's crazy when you're a parent and, because you want to, like one of my songs that's coming out now has got, I should say both their names in it. And it's a cool song. I'll let you guys hear it after this, but why I made it was because of the fact that, actually, no, I don't really want to talk about it.
Okay.
But at the same token, I'm proud to use it. I'm proud for them to hear it because at the end of the day, it's a acknowledgement of how blessed I am to have them.
And I think that's so meaningful for other dads who are listening to this to see that how important your kids are, that you've chosen to make a song about it. Like it's going to touch so many other dads to think about their relationship with their children. Yeah,
this one particularly will. And I've got some real cool romantic stuff, but I've got some real cool dance ones, and even the new English album, and I've got 3 albums coming out this year.
Wow! So when is your first album being released?
First album or first song of the album is going to be released in March.
Okay.
And then the album comes out, and then the second song, which is a Bollywood album, then that album's coming out, and then my English single, and then the third album.
Wow!
So you're gonna have a very busy year. And so where can the viewers want to hear the music? Where can they find this?
Find your music and
you know what? There's so much. phone this one low.
So love music online.
Yeah.
So Instagram and YouTube?
YouTube.
Luv Randhawa, Love Music Online, Spotify. Again, it's all about hits and algorithms and how many people follow and so forth. So please, if you enjoy what you hear and you see, please, connect with me and do message me. I love that. When fans and friends and family message me and say, hey, I love that song. That's a good beat. Yeah. It makes me want to do more and better. That's the biggest thing.
Where does the creative side come from? How do you come up with the ideas and for a tune and I want to sing this and I think I want to, where does those ideas, how does that come about?
Well, I always had this thing about me, and it's all about reality. Okay, so my song Takdir, for instance, that came out, the words are I wanted to use these two words in a song. I don't know why, but I just came up to me. I said Takdir and Ruh. Because of Urdu Punjabi, so it's a connection of our culture, right? From Punjab, from regular India Punjab, and Pakistan Punjab, Lenda Punjab, Jadda Punjab, they call it, right? Yeah. And for me, it was, Takdeer badal de meri ruh naal kar le pyar, naal mere ji le sajna, zindagi de din char. So the seasons of life, there's 4 seasons. So the seasons of life go through. But I want the person that's going to love me, not just love me for this, but love me for
right, the inside.
So, and I'm saying thank you for changing my takdeer, my destiny. Because with you now, I have a walking partner. And so those type of thoughts came into my head, and then I wanted to use those words, and I phoned my friend up and I said, listen, this is the type of song I want. And we talked about the beauty of a woman, and we talked about, my particular lady, and this is what I wanted to thank her with. And sort of not just recognize her, but acknowledge it through song.
Sorry, Rosamund. Speaking of lady, I know. Congratulations, you just recently or not too long ago got engaged.
Yeah. 4 years now. Well, been together 4 years, and everything was great. And knock on wood.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
You know what? I want to say you love because I remember this from when I used to help support Ange on her journey when she was going through the pageant stuff and meeting you, was you were always respectful to women. I always remember that, and it's still here, and it's so great to see because we are in a world right now where, the manosphere and what's happening and, the kind of the gender division, which I don't like at all, but it's really eye-opening to see that there's a lot of men out there that don't respect women, and it's something that I remembered about you very back then. Hearing you today, it's like that's still true to who you are today. So that's really wonderful.
I sincerely, that's the biggest award I could ever hear.
And it makes, I can think of your daughter, like I'm just thinking from her perspective, how proud it must make her feel to be like, like my dad's, a man who champions for both genders. Like that's so important.
Thank you. Yeah. I guess I'm who I am because of the beautiful women and amazing women that have been in my life, from my moms to my grandmothers to my aunts to, all that stuff. To the people that I've known in my life, they were all good people one way or another. You meet bad people, let's be honest. But I've been very blessed that even the relationships and friendships that didn't work out, I take the best from them. Right. I've got no anger or animosity towards anybody. I've never have, never will. Yes, there's points in my life where I was angry and upset. Everybody goes through it. But at the same token, I think I was championed to go through these things for a reason. And I take them all with all the bad ones I take with a grain of salt, and all the good ones I cherish.
What is adversity taught
I love
you?
that. I love that.
What has adversity taught you?
Oh, 12.
Start to wind out. We're good out?
Adversity, we all go through different things, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've always looked at it this way. If you believe in the powers above, it doesn't matter what religion, what God, whatever, the powers above. There's such a huge, beautiful energy about it. Okay. When we shut our eyes, and let's say the 3 or 4 of us are sitting here, we shut our eyes right now, and we concentrate on the middle of our forehead. They say the 3rd chakra, whatever the energy stuff is. Believe me, I don't know too much about it. I'm not preaching it, but I'm just saying this is what I do sometimes. And I shut my eyes and I say, okay, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be good. Even if it does go bad, you're going to get through it. I've done that all my life. So that's how I've dealt with it. Yeah, there was points in my life where I was pissed off and angry and so upset. But I don't know where that was coming from. But now, the more mature I become, the more happy I've become and more content I've become. You know, it's been relaxed now. And that's what I say to myself. If I am going through something, I just shut my eyes and I'll sit back and I'll go, okay, this is going through. Okay, I'll get through it. The powers above are with me. I haven't done anything wrong. You know, I'm not guilty of anything. And that's how you have to look at it.
Right.
Let's be honest. I mean, if you think about it, if you're honest with yourself and happy with yourself, who gives a damn what is out there?
Yeah.
Let's hope he didn't go to a Diddy party, eh? We'll find out in a couple years. It's like, Luv Randhawa was a special guest at a Diddy party next to Obama.
But he went to the Grammys.
You did? You went
Why
to
did you bring Obama into it?
Let's talk about, you went to the Grammys, though, and you went to Death Row Records. Let's talk
Yes.
about-
Yeah, let's go there.
Yeah, so 2016, to be honest, I was blessed with an opportunity, a musical opportunity that I got to go to the Grammys and the after party and met Diddy, met all the superstars that we think are superstars, to be honest. Jamie Foxx, I met him. Mike Tyson was there.
Oh, she's a big fan of Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
Love
Tyson.
Mike
Yeah,
Tyson.
Tyson's awesome. Who else was there? Virgin Airlines.
Richard Branson.
Yeah, Richard Branson was there. He walked right by me and then he stopped and said hello. And I was like, holy shit. I went to the Playboy Mansion. There was a last party at the Playboy Mansion.
Nice.
That was super cool. And it's not what we think.
I was just gonna say that. Is it all the naked women?
No, the buddies,
Diddy
the buddies
didn't
were
host that
all
party.
dressed up. Let's
So
put it
let's
that
talk
way.
about it. How does a kid from Surrey,
Yeah.
a kid from Surrey,
End up at the Grammys for.
Let's talk about that.
Okay,
That's some
so-
serious grit and hard work.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was. And it was a dream. And I mean, what I mean by a dream is that I want to do an English album. So one of our mutual friends basically asked me for a song, and Punjabi song, and he was listening to it. And next thing you know, Mr. Chalk walked by and all this sort of stuff. And my very dear friend, Suki Guman, who made the connection and helped everybody in the team make that English album, was amazing. And it was great. Just basically, he heard this thing. He goes, "The guy's got good vocals." And then next thing you know, I spoke to him on the phone. And this is the guy that made Ice Ice Baby with Dr. Dre.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were up for a Grammy for Straight Outta Compton, the film. Okay, they did the musical scores. Him and DJ Slick. Basically, what happened was we started, connecting and talking. And he goes, "Yo, bro, you want to come to the Grammys?" Yeah, sure. Let's go. Yeah, he goes, "We're up for an award, Straight Outta Compton." I go, I'm just thinking to myself, what the hell is he talking about, Compton and shit like that? I had no idea about the West Coast rap scene. You heard little bits and bobs, like, the NWA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we knew that stuff. We grew up with
I
that.
had no
Oh.
clue. So next thing you know, I'm watching movies and shit like that. I'm listening to music. I had no idea the
Wow.
history of the rap game on the West Coast. Okay. So I knew a little bits and bobs. Like, I'm not gonna say I was like, didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know their history. And well, when you get to talk to these guys, they're talking about the first Beats by Dre, the headphones. I got to touch them, and I got 5 boxes free from them. And recording at the studio. And next to me is LL Cool J because his album's coming out.
Wow.
Snoop Dogg walking in and saying, "Do you got any paper?" to the engineer, and Chalk and all those guys. See, those were experiences of life,
Yeah.
which I'll never forget. Don't get me wrong, and I respected every moment of it. But again, I didn't know that game. So a whole bunch of people came with me to the after party from Surrey and Richmond, and it was an experience for them as well.
Right.
And I did my music there, and I'm shooting not only my videos, and I'm recording at their farmhouse in their studios, and making music and staying up until 5 a.m. Recording, and it was a whole different lifestyle that they lived. What I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I've heard this.
And then going to the labels, music labels, and the guy going, "Okay, we want this for Disney. We want this song for this. We want this song for that. This is going to be the next Budweiser commercial because it's got a beat." They're listening to my music, what I created, and they're saying, "This is what we want your music for." Did it all pan out? Some of it did, some of it didn't. But again, that's just
But it's experience.
experience,
Part of the game.
It was,
Yeah.
it was an experience
Yeah.
for me to show my respect for the culture that I grew up with, as well as my Indian culture, bringing them together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, when you guys do have a chance, when you guys listen to the album, Believe in Me, you're gonna say, "Oh my God, that's love."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a whole different side of love when I heard this side of love. And that's why I named my album, the one that I gave you guys, This Side of Love was that love side at that time.
We should bring the CDs. We should bring them and show them.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
No,
Before
problem.
we start winding down, I do want to talk to you because I think it's important that you were, from what I've seen from your social platform, you're very honest, you're real, and that's why we connect. I know you did go through a difficult time. You found love. You went like me. You went through a divorce, right? And I do we do want to keep it authentic on our platform from a male perspective. What was going through a divorce? What did that feel like for you in our culture? And how long ago? And just how did you come out from that?
Well, I think everybody takes it differently, right? Let's be honest. It was what it was. Was I hurt? Yeah, absolutely. I was devastated. But that just me. There's a lot of guys out there that said, I don't give a shit. She can go to hell. Mm-hmm. Or the girls say he can go to hell. I was devastated. I'm not going to lie. I was hurt. I was like, it wasn't that I failed anybody. It's that I failed my name, my reputation, my integrity, my family name. I think I was more hurt about that. Was it a good thing for both parties? Yeah, possibly.
Looking back at it after, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously on their side it was, and I'm not sure what the future would have been. Let's be honest. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. I really can't say. But at the end of the day, it worked out that it happened, and I was hurt because I always felt that I was going to lose my kids that way, or I was going to lose my own identity that way as well. Mm-hmm. But at the same token, I thought, at the end of the day, I thought, is it a good thing? Yeah, possibly. Mm-hmm. At the end of it, looking back, it was a good thing.
Right.
Because I found myself personally, I found out, I grew as a person. I grew as a man. I felt there was no, how can I say it? There was no regret. Even though it didn't work out, there was no regret. Because it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Looking back, 10 years, 11 years back, do I give a shit what anybody thinks of me back then or now? Never have, never will. Mm-hmm. Did I make friends and lose friends? Yeah, that's just part of the game of that type of relationships. And when something spreads out, people pick and choose. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Dating after divorce, was that hard? I can say that was hard.
You don't realize how many people are divorced or separated. Yeah. You do not realize. Right. I always thought it was just everybody's happy. They're sticking through it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Is our divorce in our community high? Yeah, damn well. It's too high in my eyes. Yeah. I think people at that age, of my particular age, rushed into it.
Yeah, right. Ended it young, way too young.
Did it young, and they didn't see the faults of the partner. They just looked at the other side of the partnership and the family and the relationship of that. I'm not just saying on my own side. I'm looking at everybody else that's out there that's divorced. I think people were just there in it for, it's the time now. Yeah. I've got to do it. I've got to be with someone. I've got to tell my cousins that I've got a boyfriend and I'm dating and I'm getting married. Yeah. I'm going to have kids by the age of 27. I don't want my feminine clock to die out, or I don't want he to die out in that sense, but I think it's more, it was rushed for a lot of people because there's a lot of couples that were getting married around my age at that time, and probably your guys' ages as well, and it was a show.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a spectacle.
It was a spectacle. It was a production. It wasn't two families joining. It's, okay, my tata, my best friend, my whatever, we're going to have 5,000 flowers this way. We have to get this videographer because my cousin had him. We need this photographer because he knows every angle and he's got a light. That's what it was. Yeah. Weddings aren't cheap. They are expensive. And unfortunately, people rush into it because, my dad can't hear about us dating. My Thaya can't hear of us dating. I can't take you to a event because we're not married. I can't have you come over to my parents' house to hang out and watch a movie because your parents might think we're doing something and my parents might think we're doing something, messing around or whatever. You know, those things go through your head. Well, we can't get caught going to Berkeley Park and walking through the on the track together. You know, because our Chachi and Pua and Masi will tell my mom, and then the friend will find out and shit like that. It's normal. It's okay. You know, your parents will get over it. You know, in the sense of dating and seeing someone. But again, you know, it's if you do it with respectability, it's okay. Let's be honest. Date and so forth. And the moment that unfortunate shit happens out there with names and garbage and all that sort of stuff and reputations. Who gives a shit, to be honest? Because that's all flabbergasted and made up garbage by others. Who cares?
Do you,
be
right?
Happy.
Good for you.
Be happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, don't regret anything. Just walk away, head up high, chin up high, and just say, hey, you know what? The next one's going to be better.
Good for you. That's a great attitude.
That's a great attitude.
Great
Yeah.
attitude.
Good for you.
And thank you for answering that question. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get that out there so that, you know, when we've got our male listeners, that they understand if anyone is going through a hardship, right? I want them to know that, you know, listen, like he turned it around and he's still positive and look, like he's still thriving, because so many people, they always say either a divorce is going to make you
Or break you.
There's no in between.
I heard that from a few people after it. Obviously, they don't talk about it before. You know, they're saying, "Oh, it's good that you guys did," and X, Y, and Z. But again, you know, don't turn to shit. Don't turn to alcohol. Don't turn to drugs. Don't turn to being abusive. Don't turn into being a dick.
Yeah.
And I say that to the guys especially, and to the women out there. Don't try to crush them. There's at one point you were in love with them.
Okay.
There's one point that you were with him. And you know, and the reason why I say that,
No, that's great.
he's got to live his life as well.
Yeah. Don't crush him.
He's got to move on. You may have moved on, but he's got to move on too one day.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes it's hard for either genders to go through it, and so be compromising, be fair, be open with each other still. I'm not saying be best friends. No, because 90% of them don't even become friends because there's so much hatred and so much anger with the family and friends and so
history.
forth. Yeah.
Right.
You know, just be happy. Just be happy with yourself and just try to make it work and smooth it out. Because at the end of the day, you're still a human.
Yeah.
You still have feelings, even for a guy going through a divorce, you know. And for a woman, I get it. You know, there's friends that come into play and cousins that come into play and parents that come into play and all that shit. At the end of the day, be nice.
Be kind. That's always I say. Just be kind.
The world,
Yeah.
the world has got too much hate.
Yeah.
Just because you two are not going to get on and you're not going to live the rest of your life together. You know what? Just be kind. Let it be. Okay, see you later. Don't talk. Don't text. Don't do anything. See you later.
Yeah. Push each other.
Because when you do harbor hate and all that stuff, if you notice it, it only hurts yourself.
Yeah.
Because only you're going through the stress.
Yeah.
And then I gotta drink to numb this throat. I'm getting more. And you're like, this is not gonna work. Like the other person doesn't see or feel any of this.
No.
It's all in my own head, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And,
crazy.
And to be honest, that's what a lot of it is.
Yeah.
Is that you're killing yourself by overthinking and overthinking. And yes, it's true. You do overthink. But at the end of the day, if you just say, again, as I said earlier, hey, you're a good person, you didn't do anything wrong, whatever, la-di-la-di-da, hey, life is good, life moves on, the power's above. You know, I mean, there's a few of us here that are divorced. Well, guess what?
3 of us.
We're still alive.
Yep.
Yeah. We turned out okay.
Turned out okay.
We're alive.
We survived.
Yep.
Got a head over our heads, good jobs, worked hard,
Mm-hmm.
we're doing this podcast,
Yep.
but at the same token, we're okay.
Yeah.
That's all that counts. You gotta be okay.
100%.
My biggest thing I took from that was, what am I supposed to learn from this? What are you trying
That's
to teach me?
great thing.
And that's what I take now in everything that I go through is like, what are you trying to teach me now? Okay. You know, and there's some days, like I said earlier about that date, I don't want to learn anymore. To like, you know, there's some point I'm like, I'm the season, I'm good. But yeah, you're right. It's always about how do I look at this experience and what can I take from this? And that's what I'm doing.
And I think if you do that in everything in life, don't be driving and say, oh yeah, hey, da da da. But just sometimes just listen to your own head.
Yeah.
We drown out our own inner voice.
Yeah, our own gut.
When it's really telling you sometimes the right things, and you're like, no, we're going to listen to something else.
That's it. Yeah, like you're driving and you want to take a right, but you actually take a left. Why is that?
Yeah.
There's a reason why you went left. Well, guess what? You just saw those beautiful flowers on that house. You saw that new paint color that you're gonna do your house with next.
Right.
Shit like that.
When you listen to the universe and you do it, like it responds, right? You see things like that. Like I totally believe it.
Those CDs you see there is all about the universe responding to them.
Wow. I love that.
As they say,
love is in the air.
And he's on the couch with
and
us.
he's on the show.
Well, we can talk to you for hours.
You're great.
Energy, man.
Yeah, really good energy. Yeah.
I feel like I learned so much.
Yeah, I feel like you needed this. I was like, you needed this. So timing.
I didn't have a good morning. I was so annoyed today. I was just like dealing with so much. It's been like a crazy week, and I was like, oh.
Mentorship.
That's literally what I thought about.
I was like,
this is so good for Al.
This is great. Well, you know what, love? We want to be respectful of your time. It is a Saturday we're taping. We can talk. We'll definitely have to bring you back.
Yeah.
You're going to have to fill us in on all the great stuff that you're doing. We're going to make it a two-parter because we just find that this is a great conversation. It's impactful, but people's attention span these days is like 25 minutes. So we're going to make this two parts. Part 1 and part 2. But everybody, it's Luv Randhawa. Check him out. We are going to make sure we get all the CDs he brought autographed. Al's going to drop his information. You're going to find him on our IG account. We're going to obviously put I think it's a tag or
we'll tag you all in all the clips.
All of our supporters can support you. And together, we will rhyme.
We will. And you guys keep up the amazing work. Honestly, even though I've known Angie for years, you two I remember a little bit, but keep up the great work. You guys are delivering a message that needs to be spoken and listened to. And the kids out there, you're going to have a lot of different age groups, and you know what, you will hit each one of them in a different way. So just never stop doing what you're doing, because the world needs positivity. We've got too much garbage out there, too much bullshit. And I'm a straight shooter, as you know, and I love the guests that you had on your guys' previous shows. I learned a lot from him. Even Jagpreet, he was a baby when I first started music, and he came to me and we learned the tool and all that stuff, and look where he is now. Right? He's a superstar. In my eyes, he is one of the best, if not the best singer out there.
And
he's great. You're right.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's got a heart
good
of
soul.
Family. His family's amazing. But what I'm trying to say is, keep doing it.
Thank you.
Keep bringing out the guests. I know it was hard to read.
You only took
That's so funny. You need to hear this. You need to hear this so badly. Wow.
This was for me.
This was for you, Al, today. This was all.
It took 5 months to get Luv.
Holy Al.
International superstar.
No. You know what? I'm just your regular guy that loves music, and just like yourselves out there, the listeners, we appreciate you, and because of the messages and 20 years in the game and still going, and it's a bonus. It's a bonus. I don't know when it's time to retire or when it's just time to stop, but with all the PR that's out there given to all of us artists out here in North America, it's crazy. It's crazy. And you guys keep bringing out the guests, so I keep learning and growing and becoming better. And hey, let's make this world a better place. One podcast at a time.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, collaboration. We just want, you showed up today for him. Like the chats that we had before, I was kind of like, okay, I don't know where Al's headspace, but literally, like sitting here, I'm like, wow, universe, you are magical. Because like literally is everything he needed to hear today. Yeah. It was from like an older brother. And like the older sisters don't always, is not what he needs to hear.
You know why we don't listen? Because the older sisters are always way too much. At some point.